since it's another day, billions will kneel and pray. Anything to aid escape from the world so cold and gray.
That's fucking where did the winter come from all of a sudden, boy?
And we're back on this beautiful Tuesday.
Chilly.
Coming to you.
Yeah.
From Ohio. Southwestern Ohio.
America's armpit.
I like to think we're armpit.
Well, we live roughly off 35, which is in between, kind of like Indiana and then the white trash stain of the Midwest.
Yeah.
Which is Dayton.
Yeah.
At least Drexel.
True story.
But whatever.
Anyways, we're here. It's cold out.
Yes.
Winter came out of nowhere with a vengeance.
We had the first of many fake news stories today about our weather.
Mm-hmm.
It was supposed to snow yesterday, and we woke up expecting snow in the cars, and there was none. Nothing. Fake news.
Yeah. Time for some housekeeping?
Yeah.
Let's get it out of the way.
Roll through mine, and then we'll roll through yours?
Yeah.
And we'll get on to the topic.
Yeah.
First, we've got a promo swap with another podcast we've done before. We're going to do it again. I'm sure we've got some new listeners that haven't heard it before. Here we go.
Hey there, this is Steve from the Baked and Awake podcast, and you're listening to one of my favorite shows, Bones and Tubs, where the boys are opening minds and questioning all every week. Thanks for letting me stop by and visit, guys. Have a great show, and to you and your audience, don't forget, smoke indica and do shit anyway.
Steve Kaminsky's Baked and Awake podcast.
Go check it out.
It's premium. I don't know if you can hear it. Italian hand gesture. Yeah. Solid dude. Mm-hmm. Solid podcast.
Mm-hmm.
Next we have, once again, the We Are Legends stream. Check them out. All those video game streamer places. Twitch. Never remember the one he uses for Xbox.
Mm-hmm.
But that one.
Yeah.
You guys know what I'm talking about. And on Instagram, We Are Legend. Instagram. Check them out. Tell them Bones and Tubs sent you. Send them a picture of your genitals.
Yeah.
I got a news story. You want to wait for that, or you want to get it out of the way?
We'll go and get that news story out of the way.
Okay, so my brother sent me this morning. Touches home because Mike DeWine is our new dear leader of Ohio, and he supports this law that was being enforced over in Maryland that caused Gary Willis, a 61-year-old resident of Maryland, was shot and killed by police when they were attempting to confiscate his firearms under the state's red flag law. Police say that Willis initially had a gun in hand when he answered the 5 a.m. knock at his door. He put the gun down when he realized officers were knocking, but he picked the gun back up when he ascertained the officers had come to take his firearms, as he should have. Mm-hmm. Live free. Fuck your blue lives. The officers tried to wrestle the gun away from Willis, and it went off, striking no one, but one of the two police officers fired a shot in response, killing Willis. The details surrounding the order were not released, but a niece is reported to have said that an aunt requested the order. The red flag law allows a person to tell police about any concerns they have over another person, and that information is sent to a judge. The judge will then make a determination as to whether or not the person's firearms will be confiscated until the matter is resolved. Not everyone can file a petition. The ones who are able to file are law enforcement, health professionals, spouse or family member, someone who is dating or has children with the person, current or formal legal guardian. This is likely the beginning of what we see here. I don't see much good coming from it.
No,
that's the slow and steady creep towards what's it called? Tyranny.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, because rights can't be taken away. I don't know if you guys knew that or not. Rights are something you have that can't be taken away.
That you never lived without in all reality.
Right, you don't give them up. No one gives them to you. No one takes them away. He did nothing wrong.
Yeah.
He was murdered by the state.
Yeah.
So there's that.
And then did you see that?
Yes, I did. Where was the shooting at? It was a nightclub.
Yeah, it was a nightclub in...
Was it California?
Hold on.
I don't fucking
It's
remember.
all over the goddamn...
Yeah, I shared it earlier.
Yeah.
Should be on our Bones and Dubs page.
Okay, it was in Chicago.
California.
A Chicago security guard for an establishment was working his job, doing what he was supposed to be doing.
Doing what he was paid to do.
And somebody came in to shoot the place up.
Yeah.
So he did what he was supposed to do and stop the shooter. And then the police arrived and shot him to death.
Yeah. But my blue lives, though.
Man, I mean, I hate to be shitting all over cops today, but the good times keep rolling on.
Or are they shitting on themselves?
I mean, they kind of shot themselves on the foot, no pun intended, on any of this, because, like, you know...
We're shooting people?
Yeah.
Yeah. That
didn't deserve to be shot?
Oh, well.
Got it.
Yeah. Tyranny, though.
Yeah.
Hashtag tyranny.
My tyranny. But I think the last thing I want to talk about was...
some local government hatred?
Yes. So, yesterday, Toe Beans received a letter from the city we live in, and it said that we had an ash tree in the front of our property that needed to be taken down immediately.
Bitch.
And that we had approximately 10 days to remove it, or the state, in this case the city, would come in.
State.
Yeah, would come in and remove the tree themselves, and then compel us to pay them back for removing the tree.
Yeah. If it please the crown, I would like to keep my tree.
So she contacts them because 10 days seems like that's a short window of time, you know,
to come up with get rid of tree money.
Yeah. So she contacted them, and they're like, "Oh, don't worry, it's just a scare. We just do it to get people's attention." Whoa, okay. First of all, that's what we call in the tyranny business a scare tactic. You used a scare tactic to get people to respond to your bunk fucking, tree letter.
Yeah.
Right? And they're like, we'll give you a couple months to get rid of it. Mm-hmm. So here's the thing. I told Toe Beans this. I said, I'm glad you're the one who talked to them and found out about this. I was like, because had it been me,
Tub smash,
I probably would have not been as friendly as she was. Because I got to tell you something. I pay my city taxes like I'm supposed to,
like a good little boy.
Rita pays weight faithfully, and they get their pound of flesh from me every year.
Yeah,
and the crazy part is my alley has a shitload of potholes in it, and the thing is, it's like, if my tires get all fucked up because there's potholes in my alley, the state's not going to pay for my tires.
No, they're not going to refund your taxes either.
But you know what's crazy?
What's that?
They take the money anyways.
You know what you can do, though? You can go to Domino's. You can let them know. Domino's will fill it.
We don't have Domino's here.
Oh, fuck.
I know. We're like so behind the times. But
Starbucks.
Or my bunk fucking sidewalk that if I tried to ride a bike over, I'd probably die.
Dead. Yeah.
It just makes you wonder.
I get it. Yeah.
And then
taxation without representation, almost.
And of course, I'm conspiracy minded, so I told her, I was like, so you're telling me that there's a dude whose only job is to drive around and look at trees in town?
Yeah.
I was like,
I want that job.
Yeah, for real. And she's like, well, yeah. And I was like, and my conspiracy mind went somewhere else, and I said, I doubt that. I was like, something tells me one of our snitch-ass neighbors...
I don't like his goddamn tree.
...contacted the city about the tree.
Yeah. Snitch-ass.
God damn it.
Son of a bitch.
I am a fucking savage.
Hashtag not professional podcast.
So that was my little fucking Tubbs versus the Tubbs versus the people of Ohio.
Yeah.
I saw something funny yesterday too. I wanted to bring up on the show today. It was a little thing where someone, apparently a famous anarchist, said it. He basically said that it was an argument against Marx's notions of the people, right?
Mm-hmm.
And Marx would quote that in a communist state, the people run the government, right?
Yeah.
And said anarchist said, I don't think it matters to a person getting beat with a stick if it's called the people's stick.
Right, yeah, no, it's still a stick.
It's still a stick.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's what I think about. Bones got beat by the people's stick, apparently.
Yeah. Well, at least then you can feel good about it, because the people on that stick.
Exactly.
I like this meme, and then I'll finish with a quote from Dr. Doug Hurdy, and then we'll move on. They got a meme here. It's got a picture of the Constitution, little quill feather, starts out, "We the people." And then underneath it, in the meme speak, it says, "Surely this holy napkin will protect our rights." And then Dr. Doug sent me a news link to NBC4i.com. Kasich, stand your ground laws will be vetoed. And then he urges lawmakers to pass red flag bill that allows guns to be confiscated. The ones we just talked about.
Kasich's such a shill.
So's fucking DeWine, man.
I mean, yeah, DeWine's a shill, too.
Republicans and Democrats are the same goddamn thing.
I mean, like, I'm sitting here piecemealing here. They're all fucking shills. Like, goddamn.
Everybody wants to say it's like two wings of the same bird, but really it's just one condom with two colors as it fucks your brains out.
Yeah. So the last thing I want to talk about before we got started on the topic was something, it's been going on for a while, but I just heard about it. You know how things are in the United States.
Yeah.
I heard it on, actually, the Bob and Tom show this morning. And it like triggered me. But apparently in Finland, your speeding movement violations, like traffic violations and whatnot, are the amount that you pay is decided upon based on your income.
That sounds like a great idea.
That being said, now here's the thing. And I told my partner before the show this. I was like,
podcasting partner, not his life partner.
Yeah. I said, I was like, I bet you somebody passed that shit with the best intentions. Good intentions. I was like, but the thing is the road to hell is paved with good intentions.
It is definitely paved with good intentions.
But I was like, it sounds great because, like, what's a couple $100 fine to a millionaire? You know what I mean?
Nothing.
Yeah. Like, what's that to somebody? Because they talked about a guy who got charged like $103,000 for a speeding violation, right? And the part of every person's brain that is reserved for, like, that socialist mentality, that communist mentality, and don't get me wrong, even Bones and Tubbs got it in them a little bit, I don't like rich people, but the logical side of me still says, like, well, that's going to run afoul of other principles that I have, because the problem is that may seem good, but now you're going to have cops exclusively targeting rich people because they know they're going to get big payouts from it.
Yeah.
Why pull over 100 poor people and make $10,000?
Yeah.
When you could just save yourself for some fucking rich, fucking fat cow, pig, whatever.
Yeah.
Driving a goddamn fucking Countach Lamborghini.
So either they drive shitty cars or they just leave.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Like a la Ayn Rand,
Yeah.
Atlas Shrugged style. But yeah, so I wanted to poke that hole in that ideology right away, because now you have police specifically targeting people based on their income. And let me tell you something, we see enough of that as it is, because we do see that. Right. We see police, they really do target people based on their income. That is a truth. I mean, right now we're seeing it in the sense that we see them targeting poor people. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because they're low-hanging fruit. They know they can't afford lawyers and shit like that.
Right.
But, inject socialism in it, and they're only targeting a different economic class at that point. Yeah. It's still, as far as I'm concerned, it's still targeting, and it's still tyranny.
Still slavery, yeah. It's just a different type of slavery.
But yeah, I just wanted to touch on that real quick before we got started on the topics today.
It's good. Today, I just wanted to finish up the two-parter. Some people out there jerk off when they see two-part episodes.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't say that our target audience is everyone by any means, but I do like to have certain portions of people segregated out in my mind that like the show. Mm-hmm. And I like to tickle them every now and then.
Yeah, give them a little scratch under the chin.
So last week we did the history of the New World Order, right? Mm-hmm. Part 1.
Part 1.
Part 2 is how they're trying to fuck with you and ways to stop it.
Yeah.
So I just felt like that was good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I think we should do yours first, because yours starts, the most powerful word.
Oh, well, the first thing you need to know, and we've said it on the show before, is the most powerful thing you could do against the NWO and everything they're about is use the most powerful word known to man. And the funny part is every language has this word.
Yeah.
And that's the word thou.
So you got a KNOW in order to say NO.
Yeah.
No to know.
No to know.
That's good. It's a good launching pad, don't you think?
Oh, definitely. You know what I mean? Like, defiance of what you find unjust
is
the first step.
Psychological guerrilla warfare.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if you couldn't understand from the last episode what we basically kind of distilled down there all of their wants.
Yeah.
I put it into 2 categories. 1, control. 2, depopulation. And, you know, they kind of work together. Because once you depopulate, you've got less to control. Thus, you've got more control.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's pretty basic. And it starts with the mind. So, first, knowing no is the most important thing. And they poison your mind with hate, fear, and division. Fear is the mind killer. I don't know who said that, but it's fucking on point.
Well, that's Frank Herbert, bro.
Frank Herbert quotes.
I'm going to give it to Frank Herbert on this one.
Yeah.
This dude.
Then we got to go back to the Kabbalion, you know?
Yeah.
What, thousands of years ago? You can check it out for free if you Google Project Gutenberg. When that website comes up, you go to the search bar, top left, type in Kabbalion.
Kybalion.
Kybalion, you're right.
Yeah.
And in there, you'll find one of the chapters is about the mind. And all, well, let's see, all capital or capitalized, ALL, all is mind. Everything is mind. Religion attempted to snuff out that Gnostic truth. So use that Google. Get that truth.
Yeah.
And you'll probably get a nosebleed too when you read that book. But I digress.
It's a good one. Highly good.
So basically, you understand that they're trying to poison your mind in order to inject fear into it one way or another. You've got the news, obviously. It's creating division, hatred, fear. It's always just fear porn.
Yeah.
Useless bullshit. Movies, a lot of times. I pretty much have tapped out of most movies, except for ones that have an occult theme or some sort of Gnostic message woven inside it.
I like watching movies still, but a lot of times I find catch myself seeing the obvious like messages that they're trying to portray in the movie.
It makes me upset.
Yeah, I mean...
I'm to the point where it like ruins it if I see too much, you know?
Yeah.
It's kind of like, just to use a current modern day example, QAnon. I go back and forth with it daily. Because you see the screenshot I sent you earlier?
Yeah.
So, we didn't even touch on that, so we'll just use this moment to get in there. We basically said they had until the 11th to make good on their promise, which allegedly did never happen. We bought into some deep state propaganda with that.
Yeah.
We'll share the page that kind of flipped us around 180. It's YouTube.com, and then you just search In Pursuit of Truth is the name of the channel, and he does a really good job, breaks down all the Q drops.
Yeah.
But then, you know, as I'm feeling positive, cruising down the middle road with QAnon in the passenger seat, I then see an Instagram post where they're like championing the idea the most patriotic thing you can do is advocate for a national ID.
Yeah. Fuck, God bless it, man. And, you know, we talked about national ID on this show before.
Back in the day, yeah.
I love their logic, too. Like, don't pretend that they don't already know everything about you anyways.
Yeah, we just need to have it solidified. I bet if everybody got chipped, none of this voter fraud would happen.
Right?
Why don't we just get chipped? Why don't we just become fucking cattle? How's that sound? QAnon said it, so it must be a good idea.
Yeah.
So you eat a fucking dick. But anyway, and we're back. See, I got hatred injected into me.
Yeah.
But anyway, so the solution, obviously, at least the one that I like to go to from time to time, is to just tune all the way off. I've gone months without fucking listening to, watching the news. Feels good after a while. What's crazy, though, is that when we talked about this before, you still manage to hear about current news stories because people bleed it out like sheep.
Yeah. I mean, we all know Stan Lee died.
Yeah.
It's just everywhere. People just come out of the woodwork. I think it's like some sort of weird, like, I don't even know, man. It's like some sort of weird cult worship whenever a celebrity dies. It's like I get it, man. Like, Stan Lee was cool and all.
Motherfucker was 95 years old.
Yeah, he was 95, bro. Like, I don't know where you thought it was going.
It's not.
I don't know. I don't know where you thought this story was going to end.
You're not getting any younger, dog.
I mean, it's cool. He created a lot of cool characters, and you know what? He even like injected some like truth into his shit too.
I'm gonna make a biography about his life, and I'm gonna cast a black dude to play Stan Lee.
I'd watch it. I really would. I would watch it. Not even joking. You know what else I'm gonna go watch?
Just being facetious.
I'm not trying to go completely off the rails, but I'm gonna go watch Detective Pikachu when it comes out.
Oh yeah, I'm not mad at you
because I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
I showed my son the trailer this morning, and his eyes lit up because he's like, "Pokemon are real."
Precious,
and I was like, "Oh,
precious,
you're so precious." Let me tickle your chin.
precious boy.
Yeah. And then I saw people were getting mad because in the preview you find out that Pikachu has fur. And I was wondering, I was like, what, was this ever up for debate that Pikachu didn't have fur?
You just think he was like skin slick?
No, I knew he had fur.
No, I meant people.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, yeah, like he was like a hairless cat.
Yeah, like a shaved pig.
Like, he has fur. We all knew it.
Even pigs have fur, bro.
Yeah.
You know?
Insert Pikachu meme that's been going around lately.
Yeah, the face.
Yeah.
So, and I wouldn't even say that you have to, like, tap out entirely forever, right? But if you just, see, these things are like experiments, right? You take a vacation from stuff.
Yeah.
So we're starting with the mind. I would say take a mental vacation. Just turn the TV off. Mm-hmm. Maybe get rid of the motherfucker.
Yeah.
I've got one. It's used for PlayStation and Netflix and Amazon.
Go read some books.
Definitely. That's the next page here. I wrote read for like 6 pages. You know? Not really.
And just over and over again. Yeah. Just read.
I mean, reading is the most important thing. A lot of these dystopian books they talk about, like Fahrenheit 451, you know, you had the fire department and their job was to go and burn books and art. But we've reached a point in today's society where you don't have to worry about burning books because nobody's reading.
Yeah. I mean, Ray Bradbury warned about that.
Yeah.
He said, like, and that even in Fahrenheit 451, I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, anybody out there, I've read that book a bunch of times, and I'm pretty sure that the captain kind of reveals to Montauk that basically, like, we never had to, like, ban, I mean, like, it got to a point where we started burning them, but it never got to a point where we had to, like, ban books.
Right.
People just stopped reading them, and then we started burning them.
Now we've just got augmented reality at the tip of our fingers.
Yeah, and nobody complained about it.
Right. We just read Facebook status updates and share cat pictures all day. I've been guilty of it.
Yeah.
You know?
We're all guilty of it. You know, I send videos of Asian dudes doing neat little tricks with napkins.
With their butts, yeah.
Yeah, with their butts and with their tummies.
Right.
You gotta go check. Anybody out there gotta go check that out, though. That guy's impressive.
It is. He's done a lot of practice with that butthole.
Yeah. Did you watch that video I sent you?
You already fucking know.
Oh, okay, I'm just asking.
Yeah.
Because, like,
I tried to share it with Ladybones, but she didn't want any part of it. But whatever. It's not for everybody.
Do you know how much, like, patience and, like concentration goes into, like, his video? Like, you see it on his face when he's, like, sitting there. Like, the one where he connects the handkerchief to, like, the CD port of a computer and then pushes the button. And then the teacup is full.
Yeah.
It's a full teacup.
Right.
And then and he's just staying there the whole time.
Yeah.
And it fucking removes. And I love his signature every time. Serious face, point to the crotch.
Yeah, he's like a modern day samurai.
Yeah. Sorry, that went way off the rails. Yeah. That's okay.
That's what we do here, though. If you're not, you know, this is kind of late in the show, but if you're new to the Bones and Tubs podcast, welcome. Yeah. Welcome to our special...
Welcome to the Bones and Tubs podcast. We have the attention span of a fucking moth looking at a lamp.
Yeah, insert moth meme. So anyway, back to that whole reading thing. I definitely recommend that.
Yeah.
Take a break. Read some classics. Classic fiction, whatever. Mm-hmm. I just re-downloaded, because I got a fucking credit on my Audible, I re-downloaded Fellowship of the Rings.
That's a good one.
Going through it again, you know?
That's a good one.
That's how I like to end my day. I like to lay down with some headphones in and listen to that shit. But basically, it all boils back down to unplugging yourself from this bullshit. Mm-hmm. And even if you just do it for a while and then you plug back in, you'll become just as miserable as I am, where when I plug back into it, I can point out the status propaganda.
Yeah.
But I feel healthy about it.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, moving along. With the quote, all is mind, we once again walk over a bear trap. Because now you come across the New Age religions. Or as Mark Pascal eloquently puts it, New Age bullshit. Mm-hmm. Or / New Cage religion.
Yeah.
So they just take you from one form of slavery and try and catch you in this next box. But check him out on the YouTubes. Either of those titles is sufficient. New Age bullshit. He's got another presentation on that, or New Cage religion. Mm-hmm. Both of those are really good. Yeah, you just stay away from the what is it called? The one that was all over Walmart for a while. The Secret.
Oh yeah,
it's
Secret.
It's like a homeopathic version of the Kybalion, where they just take one little tiny drop of it and then they mix it with infinite amounts of gallons of horse shit.
It's like a recipe for your life, except like imagine like you get a cake recipe and you only get of the like 6 ingredients you put in it, you only got 2 of them.
Right, definitely not enough. And it's also to make sense of the new cage or the new age bullshit, the way that it helps tyranny is that they preach over and over again the idea of, like, if you see something negative happening, ignore it. If you see some tyrannies, don't talk about it, because if you talk about it, you manifest it in your own life. Mm-hmm. That's bullshit. Because that's just keeping your fucking mouth shut while you're watching somebody get beat with the people's stick in the street. Yeah. So.
All hail the people's stick.
Yeah. All hail Bone Stick. But anyway, there's that. It's just another trap for slavery, so be mindful, and definitely check out the Mark Passio, because he's a lot smarter than I am. Mm-hmm. I'm barely able to tie my shoes. Yeah. And for some reason, you guys like me anyway.
Sometimes I think Mark Passio is like Neo at the end of the Matrix, where, like,
with sweet Jesus hair.
Like, we're all looking around and we see shit, right? But he sees the actual code. Yeah. That the shit's built out of.
No. So now we've kind of touched on the aspect of poisoning of the mind. You know, that's where it all starts. All, capital A, all is mind. And we'll move on to the body, because they're going to poison the fuck out of you.
You're probably listening to the show right now, and there might be a chance that there's some poison sitting right next to you. I don't even know it.
I poisoned myself before I came over and when I got here.
I mean, we're poisoning ourselves constantly.
Yeah. And again, I'm not here to teetotal and tell you that you have to live some sort of pious fucking life of a monk on the mountain, but it's one of those things that if you just start doing the vacations from various things, yeah, everything changes. And then you can go back to whatever you want to do. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? They poison your body with food and water, first of all, and the air, of course. Those are the three basics you need to keep that meat vehicle running right. Yeah. Fuel, air intake, and water. Yeah. Eventually, with one of those three things, you're going to start to manifest symptoms of some kind that annoy the fuck out of you. You're going to go to a doctor, right? Mm-hmm. Beware the spirit of pharmakia, Bone said, from the cave. But then they get you on one of their various fucking oil distillate chemicals, known as a pharmaceutical drug. Mm-hmm. And then it's a fucking downhill spiral from there. Yeah. But keep in mind, I did poison myself earlier because I do enjoy some fucking pharmaceutical grade ephedrine mixed with caffeine. And then I drank a Red Bull because I like to fucking... Yeah. I'm basically like a well-polished meth addict. But anyway, no drugs. Drugs are bad. So once you get into their pharmakia circle, they will just continue to give you drugs. A lot of times they give you side effects, and they're more than happy to give you other drugs to counteract the side effects. Yeah. It's just it turns your body into a giant fucking coin machine that they suck coins out of your asshole. Yeah. Pay their pipers.
I mean, imagine like them being like, there's a huge opioid crisis, and then just being confused about why it happened, and then finally people had to point out the fact, well, maybe it's because doctors have been prescribing huge amounts of opioids to their fucking patients without any kind of, after treatment care or anything like that.
Yeah. Well, clearly they didn't learn that lesson, because we just shared a story last week of the new, looks like a little pen dispenser that shoots out little, what are they called?
Fentanyl?
Yeah, little fentanyl tablets. Right? That's cool. Yeah. No problem. We don't have an opioid crisis. And it takes me back in my mind to the history, right? What did it start out as? Opium? Yeah. And then doctors, pharmaceutical companies came up with heroin.
Bayer came up with heroin.
To get you off of opium.
Well, get you off of morphine.
Okay.
Like, they first created morphine as a
pain reliever
/ anesthetic during surgery. Yeah. And then...
Which I'm sure was helpful because they were just using bone saws and whiskey.
Yeah, I mean, like, you gotta imagine... There was, I mean, like, but the thing is, things really haven't changed that much. You think about, like, West times where they had fucking laudanum and opium and fucking morphine at hand. Yeah. And, like, they knew this shit was, like, all the doctors wanted was some peace and fucking quiet. And all their patients would do is complain and gripe about their fucking, their sores and their fucking wounds and all that shit. So they fucking, fuck it, man. Give him some opium.
Give him some of that special shut the fuck up
juice.
Give
him some fucking morphine so he shuts the fuck up.
They'll never get addicted to a chemical orgasm. Yeah. There's no way. So anyway, that just continued on down the line. Some heroin, then we got methadone, then we got Suboxone. Mm-hmm. We got, now we got some fentanyl, some carfentanil. And there's no problem. No. People aren't dying in the streets. or in corrections facilities or anywhere.
Yeah.
I'm digressing, but
Yeah.
so it's neat that they don't learn those lessons, but they also at the same time do everything that they possibly can. And I felt really good about this. This is Muse inspired. They don't have any problem banning marijuana, kratom, right?
Yeah.
They've tried their fucking ass off to get kratom to be a Schedule I narcotic, but they can't do it. At least not yet.
Yeah.
Because much like marijuana, no one's ever died from it.
Yeah.
They don't have William Randolph Hearst around to help them ban it. So the fight continues. We have massive amounts of states and areas that are decriminalizing marijuana because it helps with a number of ailments that pharmaceutical drugs will lose money on. Kratom's the same way. But on the other hand, they're also attacking natural supplements, vitamins. I read an article the other day. I've read this a number of times. One of the biggest problems we have is cancer, right? Which, we're going to Tarantino.
Yeah.
I've been talking about this shit for years, where I believed that some of the shots used in the shot protocols were done with monkey tissue, right? Monkeys have that simian virus profile that can be transferred to humans. SV40 only creates cancer in humans, right?
Yeah.
So they just admitted on the FDA's website that the polio vaccine was tainted with, guess what, SV40.
Oh.
So they created a massive cancer epidemic. That's fine. Well, they found that cancer is fairly simple to cure via THC, CBD, or vitamin C. Intravenous vitamin C, sodium ascorbate, kills cancer cells. And guess what the FDA is trying to do?
Ban sodium ascorbate?
Get rid of IV vitamin C treatments.
Huh.
Because they're bad for business.
Yeah.
Codex Alimentarius, and it'll show you some current works where they're trying to ban all natural supplements because they're dangerous.
Y'all could go out there and do the simple work. Go to your local city councils and move to have some sort of proposition put on the bill to remove fluoride from your city or local community's water supply.
Yeah, that was my next note. Matter of fact, you're like, that's a psychic, boy.
Yeah.
Or you're just reading upside down.
No, I wasn't.
I got one more before we move on to one of my favorite topics, of sodium fluoride. I'm going to read an article, or not really read it, but I'll read you the title, and you can look it up yourself. It's titled "Blood Money: Bayer's Inventory of HIV-Contaminated Blood Products in Third World Hemophiliacs." So they had a drug where they used human plasma or some type of blood in order to treat hemophilia, and they found that it was tainted. They had a massive supply of this drug that was tainted with HIV. So instead of throwing it off the shelves and getting rid of it, they were like, well, we can't sell this in America. Let's sell it in the third world countries.
Yeah.
And over in Europe. And that's exactly what they did, tainting hundreds of thousands, I don't know, a lot of people anyway, with HIV.
Nice.
To make some monies.
Sure.
But then we move on to sodium fluoride, and that's the water portion and the food portion, I guess, of the poisoning of your body. There's not one goddamn study done by the American Dental Association that shows that fluoride helps your teeth.
Yeah.
Find one. Because it doesn't exist. 4 out of 5 doctors and dentists are full of shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I will tell you, though, that they've done a number of studies that you can find on fluoride causing bone cancer, dental fluorosis, lower IQ, passivity.
Yeah.
And the first government in the world to use it, Nazi Germany. But they didn't use it on the Germans. They used it on the Jews.
Yeah.
That's because Hitler loved them and their teeth.
He wanted Jews to have pristine teeth.
Yeah, he didn't want them to be passive or...
As they got sent to the chambers and pumped full of Zyklon B.
Yeah.
It's whatever. They wanted to make sure, at least in death, their teeth were
premium.
on point.
At least the ones they didn't pull out that had gold fillings. So anyway, that's in the water that you drink. A lot of times, if you live in a city, or go in your bathroom right now and take out your toothpaste. If it's not fluoride free, throw it away. Throw it away. Buy some Tom's. They sell this shit at Walmart. Everybody goes to Walmart.
That's what I use.
Tom's fluoride free. The way to be.
Yeah.
So that's a good little solution.
Yeah.
To getting the poison out. Besides, it's not even a fucking... Like, if you look up where it comes from, it's not something that's, like, pharmaceutical grade or anything like that. It's just a
byproduct of aluminum production, is it not?
Yeah. So basically, the companies would have to pay to get rid of it unless they sell it to municipalities or companies to put into shit.
Kind of like how, I don't know if you include this here notes, but kind of how, plastic was brought about.
I didn't talk about plastics,
but
I should have.
Once again, another byproduct of another big industry. And I guess it's just one of those things where they're like, fuck it.
Yeah.
We're making this shit, and there's this extra shit left over.
How are we trying to get this money, dog?
Yeah. I mean, how can we turn a profit on this? And it's the same thing with plastics, your BPAs and whatnot.
What have you?
Yeah, your estrogen mimicking compounds.
Yeah. Your bisphenol A's, which now a lot of products will tout the BPA free, but there's like a BP. What is it? BPB, BPC. Mm-hmm. There's just a number of different ones, and I think BPF was responsible for the latest study that came out of Canada, where they found like something around 70 or 80% of children tested had 3 times the amount of allowed what they quote gender bender chemicals. I'm sure that has nothing to do with pussy hats in the street or not knowing what bathroom to use. Or
nothing at
sex
all.
changes. No, that's probably just natural.
The mass scope of sudden surge in gender dysmorphia that's been going on. Not to say that there weren't people who were confused before.
Right.
I'm sure that happens naturally in nature as it is, but it does seem like it's been an exorbitant amount here recently.
Yeah, that ramping up is premium. It's neat too that just to talk about the BPA for a minute, but the plastic distillates they found, you'd think that like if you had a bottle, right, a baby bottle,
yeah,
and the more you used it, probably the less it would leach because you're getting it out. They found the longer you keep a bottle, the more it leaches.
Huh.
The more it heats up.
Well, and let me ask you this: what do you think would be a good alternative to plastic? Because I mean, we use plastic in everything. What do you think would be a good alternative?
It's a 4-letter word. You know what word I'm thinking
Does it
of?
start with a H and end with a P?
Yeah, hemp.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you can make like mush fake plastics out of hemp that work just the same.
You can make everything out of hemp.
And
Plus it's biodegradable.
Yeah, as I say, what's fucking wild is the shit actually dissolves into nothing again.
Yeah, back to the earth.
Yeah, so we wouldn't have a giant fucking continent-sized piece of garbage island floating in the middle of the fucking Pacific Ocean.
Do you know why hemp's illegal? I mean, the current mind control.
Why?
Because if we legalize hemp, they can grow marijuana and you can't differentiate between it.
I'm not a botanist, but I'm pretty sure there is a difference between like the kind of marijuana you smoke and use and to like alter your mind and the kind used to make things.
I'll tell you this too, none of it will kill you.
Yeah.
Unless it falls out of a DEA helicopter as they fly it over the border.
Yeah, imagine a giant bale of hemp
yeah. The speed
falling
of
out of the
gravity.
sky. You know, that would kill you.
It'll kill you deader than fuck.
Or imagine like you're in a silo full of it, or I don't know how they store it, but imagine a silo full of it falling over, and that could kill you too.
Right. Or maybe if you...
but that puts it about as dangerous as corn.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, weight of anything will kill you. Mm-hmm. Side note, get ready for a drug test.
Yeah, right.
I'm ready.
That's okay. I'm clean.
Yeah, I've been clean for a long time. Approximately 8 years.
Yeah.
But whatever, I welcome a 3-hour vacation.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's see here. Another thing that they've done that's interesting with the banning of cancer cures, G. Edward Griffin did a documentary, you can find it on YouTube, A World Without Cancer. And he talks about changing the wheat staple. I don't remember the name, but there was a specific type of wheat that they used back, I believe, prior to the 50s. Mm-hmm. It contained trace amounts of vitamin B17.
Yeah, B17.
Laetril.
Yeah.
And it's chemically similar to arsenic, except that healthy cells reject it. But cancer cells, because they're in that state of constant growth, they eat everything. Well, when they eat that, it kills them.
They're mutated as well. That's why they're, structurally speaking, a cancerous cell is weaker than a regular cell.
Right. But yeah, you can't, the government banned bitter almonds, which is a large source of Laetril. They also switched over to a form of wheat that doesn't have B17 in it.
Now, here's the thing, though, and I will point this out. But with about anything that theoretically could be good for you, enough of it could be bad for you. Because if you do eat enough bitter almonds, you will fucking croak.
Same with water. You drink too much water, you'll die.
Exactly, yeah.
I mean, you got to have some type of common sense.
Yeah, I mean, you could go, I'm sure, into your cabinet right now, and I would guarantee that at least maybe at least a third, if not half of our listeners have acetaminophen in their possession.
Well, the FDA was fine with that.
That's enough. There's enough acetaminophen in that bottle to probably kill you.
Kill you deader than a hammer. Mm-hmm. At least over the short term.
So don't give me that, well, if you take too many bitter almonds, you're going to die.
Yeah.
Well, no shit, Sherlock.
Yes. Side note, because I'm a fucking psychopath and I can't stay on topic, I went to CVS yesterday to purchase some pharmacia drugs for my lady bones.
Yeah.
Because she is once again inflicted with the chest aids going around this season. I waited in there for 35 fucking minutes, and you should have seen the long list of, like, there were 2 gender bender affected teenagers that their Vietnam veteran fathers were taking to get flu shots, and all these old people that couldn't walk or, like, just looked severely fucked up from food poisoning over the, not the kind that makes you shit, but the kind that makes you fat and have neurological disorders.
Yeah.
And they're all just lined up to get their flu shot. I'm like, God damn it, man. I'm thinking about today's topic, and I'm like, these motherfuckers, they're not even listening to the show, but it's like, we know.
You know what's crazy?
At some point, you got to read, man.
I don't want to get on that fucking soapbox, but I was talking to somebody yesterday that we work with.
Yeah, the Factory of Sadness.
Yeah, I was explaining to him how last month or so, when I stopped imbibing regularly in processed sugar, or beverages, soft drinks with sugar in it, or anything like that, that and excessive amounts of carbohydrates, that it has reworked my body's chemistry, and I feel a lot better now than I did then.
How crazy is it when you stop feeling the bloat?
Oh, it's great. It's weird. Like, you don't even realize, you don't realize you had it until, like, you've been off of it for a while, and then you eat something that you haven't ate in a while, and then all of a sudden you just feel like fucking garbage.
Yeah, like the next day you just feel like death.
Yeah.
Your entire body's inflamed.
Yeah.
It's crazy that you walk around with that level of fucking poisoning, or like you have that negative reaction, and that's just like the new normal. How do you think that affects your mind?
Yeah, exactly.
Because all is mind, right?
Or like the same thing with like MSG. Like,
oh yeah,
I fucking imbibed in something with MSG in it the other day, and got sick as a fucking dog.
Yeah. Now you got to have those excitotoxins from time to time.
Like, my stomach hurt. I had I haven't had a stomach ache in a while, and I got one really bad.
Brain fog.
The stomach ache was so fucking painful that, I guess it created a brain fog. Like, I couldn't focus on anything, I'll tell you that right now.
Yeah. So that's another one. We talked about vacations, chemical vacations. Try a fucking sugar break. Try a carbohydrate break.
Yeah.
You don't have to go full ketosis or snake diet or any of that crazy shit. You just do a 3-day, 2-day, 1-day juice fast. Get you some grapes. Take a break.
Just don't do it for a minute, and then see what happens. And if you feel better because you're not doing it anymore, you know what I mean?
Reassess.
Yeah.
I mean, it's too easy. You've got nothing. You've got control over nothing except for the present moment, right?
Yeah.
And if you start paying attention to the present moment today, 10 years from now, it's going to take care of itself. Mm-hmm. No problem. Yeah. It's just, again, with the plugging out thing, man, unplugging. Like the largest diet that was touted for fucking, 20 years about low saturated fat, low cholesterol.
Yeah.
Now everybody can't get a fucking erection.
Yeah.
Low T, when you need saturated fat and cholesterol as the precursors to make testosterone. Mm-hmm. Stop listening to these motherfuckers, man. They don't like you. Mm-hmm. Georgia Guidestones, bro.
You know what else needs fat? Other than your dick?
What?
Your brain.
Oh, yeah, cholesterol.
Yeah, your nervous system.
Yeah, all those things.
What's crazy is, like, they touted low fat for years, and then we see an upsurge in Parkinson's disease and dementia and Alzheimer's.
Articles about 20-somethings coming out, like 20-year-olds coming up with fucking Alzheimer's. Mm-hmm. Eat a dick, man. Eat some eggs.
Yeah.
Fuck.
I ate some eggs this morning. They were fucking delicious.
Premium.
Yes. But yeah, I mean, we kind of just went through all this. It's kind of a way, like, it's like you said, we were wanting to go through ways that you can mentally and physically break from the powers that be.
Yeah.
Right? Mm-hmm. I feel like there's one aspect we didn't cover, though, and that's the third aspect of reality. And that's the spiritual side of things.
Yeah. Spiritual, not religious.
Well, I mean, for some people, it's one and the same.
Right.
And I don't know really what to say about that. go read the Kybalion.
Yeah. Be wary of a religion that makes you hate someone else.
Yeah, I would say like any like spiritual guide that says, hey, this person for doing something that doesn't hurt anybody and it's either consensual or with somebody else, you be wary.
Yeah.
Like, be real wary because, like, especially, like, I know a lot of our listeners, I mean, if you live in America, I mean, there's a lot of Christians here.
Yeah. Jesus never said, like, love thy neighbor or anything like that. You know, he basically said, like, love thy neighbor unless they vote Democrat or unless they are another religion or unless they like the same sex.
Yeah.
Right.
If they like, you know, to put penises in their mouth or their butts.
Yeah.
You should hate them.
Yeah.
And you should fuck with their rights as citizens.
Yeah. You should actually just subscribe to a society that will create massive gender bender problems to where we have groups of them fighting for rights that, I don't know.
Because without them, what would you have to complain about, you know?
Exactly. It wouldn't all just be about love, would it?
Yeah, it's crazy. You know? Because, you know, what's crazy is... I was talking to somebody about the Sex Factory of Sadness. They weren't real feeling it, but I told them, I was like, there is a correlation amongst all the religions of the world buried in their dogmas.
Yeah,
that coincide with every other religion of the world.
Hermetic truth
is the Hermetic truth.
Yeah,
the golden rule, as some call it. I prefer the term the generative principle.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah,
care.
Yeah, and that's to do unto others as you would have done unto yourself.
Right. Treat everybody the way you want to be treated.
Exactly. Like, I get it for some people out there. That's a crazy fucking concept. And then, but I think it goes beyond that though, because think about, like, for example, we talked about at the beginning of the episode. You have somebody like a security guard who's supposed to be protecting people, doing his job.
Right.
Right. And he did his job.
Mm-hmm.
And he was killed anyways.
Yeah.
You have to extend your generative principle out to that, right?
Yeah.
Like, and realize, fuck that.
I mean, you think about law enforcement and a whole, I don't want to get too deep into that, but just the idea of law enforcement, what it's become compared to what it should be with care.
Yeah.
Kind of different.
Yeah.
Kind of not conducive.
No, exactly.
But whatever.
But yeah, I mean, like, because in the spiritual aspect, like, to unplug, I don't know what to tell you, honestly. Like, go learn something about a different religion than the one you have.
Yeah, or, I mean, the Kybalion. We talked about that. That's the root. That's the golden seed of it all.
But the crazy thing is if you go out there and look at another group's religion, you're probably going to find that you have more in common with them than you have different about each other.
Yeah.
In the grand scheme of things.
It's like most other countries that, you know, you get back into that fear mindset. The fear mindset that the government or whatever religion would try to have you hate or fear another religion or another country. And if you just like went, like Iran, for example, like they're the same as you. They're the same people.
Yeah.
Probably shouldn't advocate bombing and destruction of another group of people that are just like you.
Yeah.
Glass parking lot.
I think that about does it for us. It was like it was supposed to be a more positive episode.
Yeah.
I felt like it was. You know, it was
solutions.
It's a little touchy-feely, but that's okay. We need that every once in a while because the thing is like we do a lot of doom and gloom, and I liked doing an episode where we like.
It's nice to
try
go
to
back
be nice.
It's back to the basics. You know, we point out the problems. We try to offer some solutions, at least ones that we've used in our own lives that helped. Mm-hmm. I mean, I'm not going to preach some shit to you that I don't do myself or haven't done in the past that I found positive.
We'd like to thank you all for listening.
Thank you very much.
Why don't you go on there and check our Patreon out?
Yeah. If you want us to shout you out, just become a $1 patron and we will scream your name. Mm-hmm. Like in the heat of the night.
Yeah. Go check out our Instagram.
Yes. Instagram.com/Bones and Tubs. If you want some swag, it's in the link in our description on Instagram.
There you go. Go check out our Facebook if you want.
Similar. Facebook.com/Bones and Tubs. I post a lot of random things, a lot of show notes.
Go check out our website.
BonesandTubs.com.
Yeah.
Links to all those things.
Send us an email.
BonesandTubs@gmail.com.
There you go. Look at that. We'd like to thank Ryan Simpson for letting us use his music on the show.
And Frank America.
Yes.
Check them out at their prospective Bandcamps.
Yes.
Website, bandcamp.com.
Anyways, we'd like to thank y'all for listening. We hope you have a good week. We hope you enjoyed the episode.
We hope you try some chemical vacations.
Yes.
Maybe some mental and spiritual vacations. Mm-hmm. Try to unplug, unshackle, all that. We love you.
We really do.
Oh, that's just God moving furniture. Word.
Vision to vision to paper, precision incision to wake up. Envision the vision our maker. We reppin' the deed on the paper. All of this earth, yeah, we got it. We want for shit cause he got us. You ain't got shit if you tossed it, cause what has been given is awesome. When is you getting gonna get it? Why are you sitting even a minute? Heaven is a windfall felt, and a vision for the lift all ship shape. The river will run and the river will break. On a vision for the mission, cause you really wanna listen, gonna glisten, go. Page for the path on passion seek. On a page from the ripped old ship where the captain sits under palace seats. Oh, the pageantry, marching in the place where the palace be. Harking to the stars when they fall from the sky like the signs on the leaves of an autumn tree. You glow, I glow, I know, who knows, ergo, ego, we go, two, right in it, and wanna whip up with it, in a taste of the mystic whiskey. Same as everybody wants, all is true, all is true. I'm gonna sip on it until the dream wanna come right back and follow you. Over the stat, over the rap, over the cash, over the past, over at last, beholding the path, the golden at last, now that's on the map. What do you call a game? They need a leader. Yeah, what's in the name for all believers? What do you call a game when they need a leader? Yeah, what's in the name for all believers? Vision to paper, precision incision to wake up. Envision the vision our maker. We reppin' the deed on the paper. All of this earth, yeah, we got it. We want for not cause he's got us. You ain't got shit if you toss it, cause what has been given is awesome. Page for the path on passion seek. On a page from the ripped old ship where the captain sits under palace seats. Oh, the pageantry, marching in the place where the palace be. Harking to the stars when they fall from the sky like the signs on the leaves of an autumn tree. Over the stat, over the rap, over the cash, over the past, over at last, beholding the path, the golden at last, now that's on the map. When you gonna get it? Why are you sitting in even a minute? Heaven is a windfall felt, and a vision for the lift all ship shape. The river will run and the river will break. Page for the path on passion seek. On a page from the ripped old ship where the captain sits under palace seats. Oh, the pageantry, marching in the place where the palace be. Harking to the stars when they falling from the sky like the signs on the leaves of an autumn tree. Over the stack, over the rap, over the cash, over the past, over at last, beholding the path, the golden at last, now that's on the map. Like the signs on the leaves of an autumn tree.